Thinking about buying a new construction home? Well, wait until you hear this. I've been digging around a little bit and I found 5 builders that you absolutely need to stay away from. And this is backed by big time complaints, real negative reviews, and a bunch of consumer research. From nightmare delays to those super cheap materials these guys like to use, you will not believe what some of these homeowners have gone through. So stay tuned so you don't make a similar costly mistake. So the American dream, right? Owning your own home built to your specifications, or one that should be built to great specifications, where your family can grow and thrive. It's that powerful vision of opening presents on Christmas morning or grilling out on that backyard that drives us to work so hard to be able to afford an opportunity to do that for our families in our own home. But what happens when that dream turns into a freaking nightmare? When the floors start cracking just months after you move in? Or how about when water pours through the ceiling after the first rainstorm? When that builder that promised you everything suddenly isn't returning any of the phone calls? I like to think of myself as a consumer advocate for my clients in the real estate industry. So in the last 13 years, I've spent a lot of time researching this topic. And as a real estate expert here in the South Texas area for the past 13 years, I've spent a lot of time doing research, interviewing people, and checking out all the consumer complaints so I know which builders to tell my clients to stay away from. So today's video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 builders that have the most complaints and the worst reputations in the new construction industry. And I've compiled this list after looking at a bunch of information from the Better Business Bureau, consumer fair websites, court records, and of course, social media. But let me be clear, I'm just not going to sit here and bash companies. It's about protecting you, your family, and the biggest investment you're ever going to make. So let's go ahead and start with Richmond American Homes. Now, Richmond American Homes isn't nearly the worst builder on the list. They actually have a 3-star rating in consumer reviews. But my online investigation revealed some pretty concerning patterns. On consumer fairs, they received just 14 out of 5 stars with 153 reviews. The Better Business Bureau gave them 1.06 with 79 reviews. Trustpilot showed 2.8 out of 5 stars, though with only 3 reviews. And on Yelp, they earned just 1.8 stars from 12 reviews. But the numbers only tell just part of the story. Take a look at this client's experience with Richmond American Homes. This couple bought a Richmond American home in Colorado back in 2022. Within weeks, they noticed their floors were uneven, furniture would literally rock back and forth. The bathtub had construction debris caked to the bottom that wouldn't come off. And most concerning, the appliances started rusting within months of installation. Now, when they approached a Richmond American about these issues, they were told that these were just normal settling problems and were not covered underneath the home warranty. They spent over $12,000 fixing these issues that should have been addressed by the builder. That's on top of the $650,000 price tag they paid for the home. Now, I want to be fair, Richmond American does have some satisfied customers, and they do build in a ton of desirable locations. But their pattern of customer service issues and construction quality earns them a spot on this list. Moving on to number 4, MI Homes. MI Homes received a 3-star rating overall, but their customer service complaints were much more than Richmond American Homes. My research found out that on consumer affairs, they received just 1.2 out of 5 stars with 406 total reviews. The Better Business Bureau gave them a 1.12 out of 192 reviews. Both Trustpilot and Yelp scored them 1.4 out of 5 stars. And check out this customer's experience with MI Homes. This gentleman and his family purchased a $480,000 home from MI Homes in 2023. Within the first winter, they discovered their insulation was improperly installed, leading to heating bills over $600 a month. The windows leaked during rainstorms, causing water damage to their walls, and the garage door opener failed 3 times within the first year. But here's where it gets really frustrating. When this gentleman documented the issues and requested warranty service, MI Homes sent contractors who either didn't show up for scheduled appointments or did incomplete repairs that didn't solve the problems. Now, after 8 months of back and forth, which I'm sure to this gentleman seemed like an eternity, he hired an attorney. Only then did MI Homes agree to make the necessary repairs. But by that point, the water damage had led to mold issues that cost an additional $22,000 to remediate. Let me tell you something. Mold remediation is no joke on a home. This pattern of requiring legal pressure to address legitimate warranty issues is a big concern for me. And that's one of the reasons why it landed MI Homes at number 4 on this list. And now we're going to get into some builders that have some truly concerning track records. Number 3 on this list is Pulte Homes. Now, Pulte is one of America's largest home builders in over 23 states. And I know what you're thinking. Well, they have more clients, they build more homes, they're gonna have more complaints. True, but still, some of the stuff is pretty concerning. Their quality control just hasn't kept pace with the amount of homes that they're building. Pulte received just a 2-star rating, with consistent complaints about quality construction and customer service. Now check out this customer story that built with Pulte Homes, and it seems like a far too common occurrence. This lady and her husband purchased a $720,000 Pulte home in Florida in 2021. Within 6 months, they noticed cracks forming in their foundation. The stucco on the exterior began cracking as well. Most alarmingly, during a heavy rainstorm, water began pouring in through their ceiling, damaging their hardwood floors and furniture. Now, when they contacted the builder, they were told that the warranty only covered structural items, and that these issues were considered either material or cosmetic problems. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and I want to be very direct and clear. These are not cosmetic issues. They can lead to serious structural issues and even health problems like mold. And it's not just her story that's unique. I found hundreds of complaints just like hers that are taking place across multiple states. Now this pattern suggests to me that there's systemic issues within their quality control and in their corporate culture, one that prioritizes quick builds over everlasting quality. Now what's particularly concerning about Pulte is their size and their overall influence in the new construction industry. As one of the biggest builders in America, they pretty much set standards that other smaller builders follow. When a company of this size cuts corners, it hurts the whole entire industry. And now we're down to the 2 worst home builders in America. And coming in number 2 at that list, Lennar Homes. Lennar is another massive builder, one of the biggest in the country. They are currently building in 21 different states, and they do everything from starter homes all the way up to luxury homes. But my investigation found some disturbing issues with their business practices and construction quality. Take a look at this customer's experience. This gentleman's experience with Lennar is particularly telling. He purchased a brand new condo from Lennar in February 2025. Within weeks, he discovered that the sound insulation between the units was virtually non-existent. He could hear every footstep, conversation, and even appliance noise from his neighbors. When he complained to Lennar, they claimed the building met minimum code requirements and refused to make any improvements. He is now planning to sell his unit at a loss just to escape the constant noise. But his story is just the tip of the iceberg. Another customer from Florida shared a very similar experience. Another customer from Florida shared that his home had such severe roof leaks from day one that water poured into his HVAC ducts. After 5 years of fighting with Lennar, he had to replace the entire roof, the duct system, and remediate extensive mold damage at a cost of over $150,000. That is absolutely insane. Another customer in California saw over 20 cracked tiles on his floor in under 2 years. Lennar is calling this kind of cracked tiles normal, everyday wear and tear, and is refusing to do any of the repairs. What makes Lennar particularly concerning is their aggressive legal tactics. Many homeowners report being forced to sign non-disclosure agreements before Lennar will do any repairs. Others describe being threatened with legal action when they post negative reviews online. Combined with widespread construction defects, earns Lennar the number 2 spot on this list. And now, the home builder with the worst reputation in the United States, D.R. Horton. Now, D.R. Horton is America's largest home builder by volume, constructing more homes annually than any other company. They build in 33 states and offer homes at literally any different price point you can possibly think of. But my investigations into D.R. Horton revealed the most concerning patterns out of any of the builders we've talked about so far. This gentleman's experience exemplifies why D.R. Horton is number 1 on the list. He purchased a home from D.R. Horton in 2025. Within 6 months, he discovered multiple serious issues. The driveway and walkway developed potholes after rain, which really shouldn't be happening anyways. The walls were so poorly insulated that his wife could hear conversations happening outside while she was in the master bedroom. The grass was laid directly on top of rocks with no proper soil preparation, making it impossible for it to grow properly. I'm kind of a grass nerd, this ticks me off. When he contacted D.R. Horton about these issues, they told him that he needed to contact the individual subcontractors that did the work, despite the fact that D.R. Horton had hired and supervised these contractors. Now, I always tell my new construction clients, whenever they build a house, we always get the name of either the sales rep or the foreman that is over that particular home that oversees the subcontractors. My clients will never have to contact a subcontractor. If they do, we've got major issues. Another woman in Florida said that D.R. Horton hung her doors incorrectly. This left a large gap on the front door that let all sorts of things like weather and insects in. And they never came back to complete the follow-up work, like the touch-ups with the paint and things like that on the walls. And after just 2 years, she discovered a major leak in the bathroom with tiles coming up off the floor and lots of water damage. Another client in Texas described D.R. Hortons as having poor craftsmanship, terrible product, and cheap built homes, to include framing materials, electrical outlets, plumbing materials, and a fence that failed prematurely. When he tried to get a hold of the warranty service for D.R. Horton, the company avoided responding to all phone calls and emails. What's particularly alarming about D.R. Horton as a company is that despite all of these widespread issues, they continue to expand and build more and more throughout the whole entire country. And this business model appears to prioritize profit over customer service and satisfaction. What's even more concerning is that when D.R. Horton builds homes, it's not just the home itself, they're often building huge neighborhoods, meaning when one problem arises, oftentimes it can affect hundreds of people. This can create a situation where entire neighborhoods are fighting the same battle against one company. Now that we've identified the 5 companies that have the most amount of complaints, let's analyze what it means for you as a potential consumer. First of all 5 of these builders have been accused of using substandard materials and cutting corners to maximize profits. This manifests into issues like thin walls, inadequate insulation, and fixtures that fail prematurely. Secondly, they all exhibit patterns of poor customer service, particularly when it comes to warranty claims. Many homeowners report being ignored, dismissed, or told that legitimate construction defects are normal or cosmetic. Third, these builders often use legal tactics to silence dissatisfied customers. This includes forcing arbitration rather than allowing homeowners to sue, requiring non-disclosure agreements, and threatening legal action against negative reviews. But please take note, not every single home, if you have one built by one of these builders, is going to have problems. Construction quality can vary significantly depending on the local management, subcontractors, and municipal oversight. However, these patterns are clear enough that I believe these builders represent a higher risk than many of their own competitors. So what can you do to protect yourself if you're considering building a new home? First, research thoroughly. Don't just rely on a builder's website or sales materials. Check the Better Business Bureaus. Check Consumer Affairs, Yelp, and even social media. Look for patterns in the complaints, not just the overall ratings. Also, visit the neighborhoods that builders have completed projects from just 3 to 5 years ago. Talk to homeowners about their experiences, both with the construction process and how the home has held up over time. Make sure you hire a third-party independent inspector. Many times we've gone into a new construction community and the sales rep are just like, oh, this home's perfect, this home's great, this will pass. Don't waste your money on hiring a home inspector. That's not true. They are there for a reason. They work as a third party to benefit you. You hire them to go through the home. They do this every single day. Let them use their trained eyes to go through the home and check out things and spot things that you, with your own eyes that don't do this every single day, would probably miss. Be sure to also document absolutely everything. Take photos throughout the construction process. Save all emails and text messages with the builder and the sales team. Record all promises made about features, finishes, and timelines. I cannot tell you how often enough I have gone to come back and do that when I'm dealing as a real estate agent directly with the sales team or with the builder to get these projects done for my clients. Keep everything, have everything, don't delete anything. You'll be thankful that you did. Another thing, make sure you understand your contract completely. And if you have questions, ask me or ask the real estate agent that you're working with to better explain what exactly does this mean. At the end of the day, you can always fall back to consulting an attorney if you don't understand what something means. Builders' contracts are typically written to protect the builder, not you. Pay particular attention to the warranty section, arbitration clauses, and any language about substantial completion or industry standards. Think about it. A few $100s in the short term could save you tens of thousands in the long term. Finally, if you can, be present and involved during the construction process. Visit the site regularly, ask questions, express concerns immediately rather than waiting until closing. And if you cannot do it, get your real estate agent to go out there and do it. That's what I do for my clients. We go out there and take videos and pictures and make sure we're sending them to people along the way. It's extremely helpful, and it's just good to know what's going on, especially if you're not there to have your boots on the ground, walking it and seeing it with your own 2 eyes. The presence of being around also signals to the construction team that you're paying attention to quality. Building a home should be an exciting journey towards creating your own dream space. With the right preparation and vigilance, it can still be a positive experience even in today's challenging construction environment. So I know we've covered a lot of ground today, from what I think are the 5 worst builders or that you definitely need to keep an eye on, to ways that you can protect yourself during the construction process. I want to emphasize though, this information isn't to deter you from getting a new construction home or going after that custom built home. That's not it at all. Rather, I intend to empower you to make informed decisions and get the education you need when you start this process. I mean, think about it. This is likely going to be one of the largest investments in your life. There are many excellent builders out there that take so much pride in their craftsmanship and in their overall work. Finding these builders requires research, referrals, and sometimes paying a premium for that quality. You get what you pay for, right? But sometimes paying that premium price is definitely worth it. My own journey through new construction was a fascinating time for me, super exciting. I loved it. My wife absolutely hated it. That's kind of the way that it was for us. But you know, it's allowed me to become an advocate for people during this process, having gone through it myself, that, hey, this is what you need to look out for, and this is what you need to be paying attention to. And at the end of the day, I know what to look for with good quality construction. I know what it takes to be persistent. I know how you need to document items. I mean, really, that's what led me to create this video, all about new construction and how you can protect yourself. So if you have your own story about home building, drop it in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. Share your experiences so maybe you could help somebody else. I hope you found this information helpful, and if you did, I strongly suggest you check out this video right here, which is the top 10 trends in new construction for 2025. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next video.